top 5 of the most masculine men's fragrances. So I put together a list of fragrances that I think are pretty rugged, pretty masculine, you know, either fresh or heavy, you know, just a different variety here. And as always, all the fragrances I mentioned will be available in the Amazon associate links down in the description below. I'm going to start with a really popular one just because it seems like men mention it all the time, which is Creed Aventus. So this is a pretty popular Creed option, probably the most popular Creed option for men. Basically, this is more one of those fresh men's fragrances, especially good for spring and summer, you know, when it's getting hot out. This is a fruit/musk type of fragrance. Has some pretty interesting notes. Your typical citrus, has pineapple in it, has regular apple in it, have really strong patchouli note, and really strong musk notes. So you're getting that freshness from the citrus and the fruit notes, but then you're warming it up with the musk. So basically, this is just an all-around really good, high-quality, special occasion type of men's fragrance. Special occasion because it's very expensive, and it just smells kind of luxurious, you know. I wouldn't want to wear this going to the grocery store. I would want to wear this going to some nice dinner or something. But this is definitely a very sophisticated men's fragrance, very put together, solid, and that sort of thing. And longevity, because it is a lighter fragrance, it's not great on longevity, about 5-ish hours. But just the way it smells is immensely attractive, very masculine, very fresh, and clean smelling. So you can't really go too wrong with this. It could be a little bit longer lasting, but you know, you get what you get from this. But, and it is just very high quality, of course, being from Creed as well. So they always put some extra effort into the quality of their fragrances. Now, another one, maybe you don't want something as fresh as Aventus, you want something more mysterious, more rugged. Then I would say Tobacco from Dior. This is a spectacular tobacco scent. It's actually unisex, but it's definitely, it smells masculine. Very strong on the tobacco note, but what it does, it actually, even though it is strong, it smooths it out to a certain extent, so it's not harsh. It's not like you're walking through a room of smoke, you know. It's that nice kind of like cigar smelling smell. And it just has that nice warmth to it. It has a certain mysterious nature, I think, kind of like smoldering, I don't know, smolderingness to it. And really good longevity, as you could expect. This, I mean, tobacco notes, you know, usually last a pretty long time. This, most likely, on most people, lasts between 7 and 8 hours, so pretty good on longevity. Definitely gonna last most of the day. And it's just a nice, more luxurious type of smelling fragrance. Now, besides this one, maybe this is a little bit too intense because it is pretty strong. Maybe you want something a little more natural, then I would say the Barretto Super Cedar. This is a unisex option, and it really is a unisex option because, you know, if I was blindfolded, I would not be able to tell if this was a men's or women's fragrance. It's basically just cedar, as you could expect from the name, Super Cedar. This is really, really nice if you want to smell very natural and woodsy. It pretty much smells just like walking through a grove of cedar trees, which I quite like. I think that's just nice how it smells because sometimes fragrances, when they try to incorporate these natural notes, they just smell synthetic. This actually smells like the real thing. It actually smells very woodsy, very natural, has a little bit of earthiness to it. And longevity is about average, probably about 5 hours, although it may be around 6 actually, 6 hours. This is, again, perfect if you want something that smells natural and woodsy. Giving it, that kind of gives it a nice ruggedness to it, kind of like a, I don't know, lumberjack style sort of fragrance. And it's also extremely versatile for the way it smells. You could pretty much wear this anytime, anywhere, and you'd be good to go. Now, if you don't want Super Cedar, then you could try something pretty strong, which is Creed Royal Oud. So, Oud is one of my personal favorite notes. I think it's just a nice musky type of woodsy note. This is very, very masculine, the way it incorporates the oud note. Oud is already kind of a masculine note, but you know, the way they mix it together, even more masculine. This is very smooth, very heavy, very warm. You can't really go wrong with it unless you just happen to really dislike oud. Really good longevity because, of course, it has the oud in it, which is a strong note naturally. So longevity, probably about 7 hours, maybe leaning on 8. And being from Creed, this is a very well put together fragrance, very high quality. You really get what you pay for with these types of fragrances. And it just smells great. Like, every time I smell this, it's just such a nice, kind of wafting, warm, woodsy, and musky type of scent. And what I like about this is that even though it is a really strong fragrance, it doesn't go overboard with the oud, because sometimes oud fragrances are just too pungent. But this keeps the oud smooth and warm and not too overbearing. So that's really nice if you're looking to get into oud and that sort of thing. Now, the last one that I have is actually another oud fragrance, but with a little twist. This is Ford Tobacco Oud, and this is probably the strongest one on the list, and probably the most masculine. It's a really hardcore, intense type of scent. Naturally, you have those two really strong notes, the tobacco and the oud. You mix them together, you create this really strong product. And this definitely is not for everyone. You definitely have to be into this really strong, heavy type of, scent. I personally really like it. I think it's very rugged, very, smoldering again, kind of mysterious smelling. And it does a good job of balancing the two notes out, because alone the tobacco could be too strong and alone the oud could be too strong. But you put them together, they kind of make themselves more balanced. So it's not just like a bomb that goes off. And I would say the stronger of the two notes is the oud. The tobacco note is a little bit more, a little bit lighter and smoother compared to the oud, which is a little bit more pungent here. But in general, it's a very masculine, very intense, nice type of fragrance. Definitely best for the evening or cold weather. And the longevity is really good, like 9 hours or more. So you can't go too wrong with this if you know that you like this type of fragrance. But that is my list here, these fragrances. So hopefully you found this video helpful. And if you did, of course, you could leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.